Cowboy Jim. I just kind of hanging out here. I process thought. I am no intellectual, and certainly I don't have a lot of people lining up in the morning to say, "What wonderful thought did you have last night?" Well, that doesn't happen, children. But I have been trying to get to know myself, pondering who and what I am, and assessing, perhaps in some ways, why it is that I am the way I am. And one of the joys that I've had with this little laptop, I had no idea when my grandson, I said, "When are you going to do another single?" And he said, "Well," I said, "I'll buy a laptop and I'll start doing my stories." And he had a great appreciation of that, in that he said, "Well, it would give the grandsons a chance to know a little bit more about me." And but I didn't realize that it would also give me a bit of an opportunity for me to know more of myself. And the justifications that I have for the way I've lived my life. And one of the things that I struggled with tonight, I finished a 96 video, and this is 97, and so on like that. But I kept thinking in my mind, about a time when I was 7, 8, 9. I'm not very clear on that sort of thing when I'm speaking of my own sons, and equally so, I'm not very clear when I think about when I was a kid. And my dad had driven me in old, I would like to say a 61, but it may have been a 63 Dodge Seneca. It was not the 57 Chevy that he had that I had previously enjoyed driving. Of course, I was very young. But he said, "Come with me," and he said, "I'm going to get you to ride a horse." And I thought, that's cool. Going with my dad was not the same as going with my mom. With my mom, I had, shall we say, a little higher degree of confidence that things may well turn out pretty good. And I've mentioned that I was no mama's boy. But I think that's kind of a waste of breath. Anyways, we went out to my uncle Harry's brother's place, and Dad and everyone there, they got a lead rope out, and my dad walked me down to the head of what I think is the 12th line. And I remember it was after supper. It was along about 7-ish, but I don't remember much. He said, "Get on the horse," which of course was a physical impossibility for me at that age. So he grabbed me and set me up on the horse. And I don't even know if it had a lead rope. I don't think it did. He said, hold on to the mane and don't fall off. And don't go to sleep. That should have been a little foreboding for me. Don't go to sleep. And he promptly, he just told the horse, go home. And horses have this innate ability to do just that, to go home. Well, they can go home with you or without you, but they'll still go home. Well, the home being the trailer or the camp or whatever. This was a big draft horse, dark, no name. I wouldn't be able to remember the name. Our family, we don't remember things. We really don't care that much either. And whatever time it was, and however old I was, the evening wore on, and Dad had said, stay on the horse, and I do not know how I managed to make it through the evening without standing up on the back of the horse and taking a leak. I never thought of that. Not once. Anyways, dark was coming on, and then the cold was coming on. Your legs and your bum pretty warm next to the horse and holding on to the mane and trying to get your hands in under the mane in the summer at night. It does tend to get cold on occasion. Not cold, but cold. Not like in Alberta, children. Boy, I'm telling you, Alberta, might be 30 degrees in the middle of the afternoon, but she's probably down to +5 at night, and you need blankets on you. Perhaps not the same in town as out at the ranch and places where I've lived. And I remember riding that horse for what seemed like a long, long time. And just sitting there, just sitting there. And I saw a light on the left side, which would be the south side, and that light was a farmyard, and I don't know what time it was. I know I was pretty tired. I was pretty young, and I thought I'm going to turn that horse into that yard, and of a truth, I don't remember reins. I don't remember lead rope. I don't remember anything. But back then, you could kind of steer the horse with your legs a bit. And I steered that horse into a yard where there was a yard light and a dog barking. I've had a lot to do with dogs. I have only been bitten by one dog, and it really it kind of nailed me. And I rode that horse up to the front door, and a lady come to the front door. She wasn't holding a shotgun or anything. If I were 10, it would be 59. I don't think I was 10. So 55, 6, 7, whatever, who cares? And the lady said, who are you? And I said, I'm Jim Martin. And my mom cuts hair. And my dad, don't know where he is right now. And she said, well, what are you doing? I said, I'm sitting on this horse and I'm riding it to my Aunt Sadie's and Uncle Harry. And they said, what's their name? I don't even know if I knew their name. And along about that time, a car was coming down the road, and I'm telling you, I think it was about 1:30 in the morning. And it did turn in where I was sitting on the horse in the yard light, and it was my dad. And he kind of got me out of there pretty quickly. And I climbed in the back seat, and he tied the lead rope on the horse and kind of held it out the window and idled down the road the rest of the way. I don't know how long a ride that was. Perhaps 10, 15 miles. In those days, children were treated a little tougher, perhaps, than they are now. I'm not altogether certain that it wasn't a good thing. I'm not altogether certain that it was a good thing. But it definitely was a thing. And in my stories, I don't do my stories to denigrate, and I don't do my stories to say, oh, look at me, don't you feel sorry for me? I don't feel sorry for myself. Don't mean to offend you, but I don't give a rat's ass. Like, I truly don't. But what is critical for me is that I may well be able to understand myself better. Like, why am I as I am? My son, oldest boy, he has tried to help me understand myself and gives me a little too much advice. I think there's a foreboding almost when you start getting mature, older, 72. Well, it could be considered mature. If you knew me, you wouldn't use that word. But it has helped me. I believe it has helped me in understanding why I have two things here. I checked that Messenger video. There were 5 words. 5 innocent words. Astounding. But I'm always looking over here where my Bible is, and people say, like, don't you have a life? Like, why do you always talk about God? Why would you talk about Him? Because in my life, He is all that I ever knew. That did not change. That was not one thing 1 minute and something else the next. Please, I'm not talking religion. I am not talking church. I am talking about a child who is befriended in some strange way. And I don't know, perhaps my grandmother Eliza Fisher, perhaps my granddad Jim Martin. My dad one time told me, he said, "Dad, your grandpa, he never went very far without his Bible." I never saw him with his Bible, but I only remembered seeing him 3, 4 times, maybe, perhaps 5, perhaps more. We used to make maple syrup, and we would boil sap, and it takes a 45-gallon drum back then to make 1 gallon of maple syrup. Ideally, you tried not to burn it and make it too dark, which I was quite successful at doing. Genesis speaks of in the beginning God. Well, in my beginning, there was God. In the years that have gone and that have accumulated life's experiences for me, there always has been, is God. Just the way of it. It's just the way that things worked out. I try to reach into your heart a little, because I want, if it is at all possible, that I could possibly make a difference in my life. I have found great value in caring for others, much more than in caring for myself. But in that I have cared for others, my own life is enhanced. It's increased. It's enlarged. It's of more value to me. Not because people say, "Oh, geez, aren't you good?" No, I'm not good. I'm not bad. I'm not good. But I definitely am not bad. So when my dad picked me up that night, very, very late, I just curled up on the back seat and went flat out straight to sleep. I didn't fall off the horse. It's quite a novel idea. And I did fulfill the intentions that were expressed to me. Stay on the horse. Don't fall off. The horse will take you home. Here's a nominal analogy. You stay on the horse of your life. You live your life to the best of your ability. Care for as many people as you can. Do the best that you know how. Do the best that you can do. Remember this, the horse will take you home. My Father will take me home one day. I say you're going to live till you die. Only you can determine your destiny. you're going to live until you die. Only you can determine your purpose, your joy, your love, your care. You and I, we are making memories today of those and for those who stand around about us. And they look at us, and it is my belief that they have a certain degree of hope that what I say may well have some degree of truth in it. What you say may well have some degree of truth in it. 97. I think this is 97. I'm not going to wax eloquent and say, oh, I can't. Well, I don't know how. I'm not going to say, well, I could say, choose ye now whom you will serve, and serve him. I chose, as a baby child, to choose God. Didn't go to church, none of that stuff. But I wanted to please my mom. I wanted her to be proud of me. She meant a lot to me. My dad, he did too. There was just a whole lot of different things there, children. But he was still my dad. And so anyways, not sure about this one. But if it seems as though you've been off riding your horse alone, remember that horse can take you on home. Remember, my God, he loves you. So snuggle down onto that horse you're riding. Warm your little bum up a bit, and your legs, hold them tight to the horse, children. Grab the mane. Put your hands in under that mane, and the heat will warm your hands. You're here doing a long ride. You're riding single for the most part. Riding double would be a whole lot better. But we're still riding single for the most part. God bless you. Well, I hope I didn't irritate the hell out of you. I hope I didn't discourage you. I hope for your best. Thus I say, God bless you, eh? Trust in my Father. He'll keep you safer than you'll be on your own. He loves you. It's a fact.